The 2022 Championship Series has been a learning experience for some and a twice-a-week battleground for others. With this, the 8th and final stop on the tour, taking the All-Stars out for an old-fashioned three-show marathon weekend, the ticking clock is quickly becoming the great equalizer. Welcome to the final event of the 2022 All-Star Monster Truck Tour Championship Series. We come into this with a very tight points race. At the top, only 4 points separating our top two trucks in this 5-truck points chase, and you can see the fans are flocking to catch the end of what has been an awesome season so far. We look back at some highlights. It was a tough start to this weekend for Buddy Tompkins, who came in with the points lead, but lost it with transmission problems on night number 1. He got back in for racing, but the truck has not been at 100% pretty much the whole weekend. Brandon Tulachka has not had it easy either. He ended up on his top earlier this afternoon, just torn up fiberglass, no real damage, but he's been fighting to stay ahead of Buddy Tompkins since taking the points lead from him at event number 1 here around number 8, but Tompkins has been fighting his way back to the top. He closed up a gap that went to 6 and now is back to 4 points, but he roasted his second transmission earlier this afternoon, and things have not gotten any easier for that team. There you see, they pulled the transmission out of the truck and got ready to put another one in. The crew's working feverishly to try to keep this truck on the track. There's the new transmission mounted up inside of the Raisin Cane ramp chassis out of Deltona, Florida. The Sunshine State machine being piloted by the man out of Geneva, Florida. But just when they thought they had it figured out, things took a very interesting turn. Tompkins fired the truck up, rolled it back, then rolled it forward. But about the time he put it in park, the crews noticed transmission fluid pouring out from underneath the blue chassis of the big Ram out of Deltona, Florida. The third transmission of the weekend popped before it ever went out on the track. A very disappointing, a very stressful turn of events, and now it's all hands on deck currently in the pits. They actually had to cut the pit party short just so they could give these fans their money's worth on the track. Everyone is over there. Corey Snyder, the entire Tulachka team. You saw Kevin Rico in there. Of course, Jimmy Tyndall up underneath the truck, as well as Jamie Sullivan and Dustin Spallone. They're all working to try to get another transmission in this truck, but here's the deal. They only had 3 on site, the one that was in the truck when they started the weekend, and 2 spares. What's the plan? There you see Mitch Tulachka up inside the Raisin Cane hauler, literally taking all of the good parts off of the 3 damaged transmissions to try to build one good one to put back in the Ram to get it back on the track, just so Buddy Tompkins can try to beat Mitch Tulachka's son in this season-long points chase right here in Aiken, South Carolina. It's a stressful final event here in the Palmetto State, but this goes to show you what kind of family we have here on the All-Star Monster Truck Tour. As they batten down the transmission, the question is there enough time left on the clock for them to get that thing in that truck and get that truck back out on the track to try to get back to the number 1 spot in points? It's going to be a wild one if they can do it. Stay with us. We'll be back to the Western Carolina State Fair.
This Back Channel Productions program is brought to you in part by Monsters Monthly. For up-to-date info, media, and all your other monster truck needs, visit monstersmonthly.com. And by RPM Army. For a wide array of content from across the motorsports world, visit rpmarmy.com. Your high-performance fix on the go. This Back Channel Productions program is brought to you in part by Crush This. For a look inside the world of monster trucks, check out Crush This, a Monster Truck podcast.
Well, we have some good news for you here in Aiken, South Carolina. The transmission is in the Raisin Cane Ram. The question is, will it hold? The truck is now over in the hot pits. We'll see what kind of run he's able to lay down. In the meantime, we're going to open up Best Trick competition right here with Michaela Tulachka in the Packer Fastener sponsored Miss Get Her Done Dentside Ford out of the state of Wisconsin. She's sitting fourth in points, currently starting off the way she has all year long with a nice sky wheelie. Didn't quite get as much air as she has in previous events, but she's looking good right now as she heads over for what I believe will be a shot at some two-wheel action on that stoppy ramp. Let's see what she can do. Michaela Tulachka, fourth in points in Miss Get Her Done. Up on the nose, not quite what she was looking for. I know that. She'd like to get a lot more vertical. Maybe not so much as she did this afternoon. Literally put that truck on the hood. If you can see the scar across the grill, she actually had that truck past vertical. Almost rolled it over, but it decided it wanted to come back down. A nice shot here. She'll open up with a strong run. A score of 6. I don't know if it's going to hold up with the field of trucks coming up behind her. Up next, the other female in the field, Jamie Sullivan out of Christmas, Florida, driving for the Deltona-based J.R. McNeil race team, the Emily Oil-sponsored team. This is the FTI Torque Ram. Sitting in 5th. She's not worried about the points as she gains experience at this point in the season. She just wants to put on a show for these awesome Palmetto State fans. Nice hang time for Sullivan. Looking good out here. Take nothing away from her. We'll see if that was enough to take over. I don't know if she's going to top Michaela Tulachka. She had some things in her run that Tulachka didn't know. A score of 4. Not going to do it. They were looking for a little bit more. The judges here this evening looking for a little more out of the FTI Torque machine. Nothing to be ashamed of. It was a strong run. Just not quite enough to take the lead. Now, Corey Snyder in Toxic 2.0. Corey out of Frederick, Maryland. Let's see what he's got. Huge sky wheelie out of the big black and green Ford into a slap wheelie. Running out of room over there, headed toward the dumpsters and the barricades. The All-Star crew working hard to turn this into a small arena out here, moving the dumpsters and the barriers over there in front of the fence to keep the trucks from damaging the concrete. Look at Corey Snyder putting the foot to it. A lot of sparks out from underneath the rear differential there. And he has big problems front wheel drive only as he's leaving the track. Gonna take another look at that first move though. What a launch for Snyder coming down. Now watch this slab wheelie's right past the concrete barrier over there that they're using for a wheelie ramp for a score of 7. He will take the lead, but here's the problem. Watch this. Watch under the rear end between the two rear tires. You're going to see a shower of sparks. He has damaged something in the rear drivetrain. Hopefully he didn't take out a third member because it's going to be a lot of work to try to get this truck back in the competition. Hopefully it's just a drive shaft and they'll be able to jump back into it. We're going to find out momentarily. Right now, though, your points leader, Brandon Tulachka out of Kewanee, Wisconsin, the Packer Fastener Ford. Just Get Her Done second-gen machine with the 540 cubic inch Richard Midget horsepower in the back, headed over to the stoppy ramp for some two-wheel action, I guarantee you. Let's see what he's got here in the Best Trick competition. Nicely done for Tulachka. Didn't get that moonwalk I think he was looking for. working his way back down toward the starting line end of the track. Brandon Tulachka laying down a shot. Was it enough to take the lead from Corey Snyder, who was spectacular? We will find out. The big white and black Ford with the green and yellow colors representing the state of Wisconsin quite well. The sponsorship from Packer Fastener, they have got to be excited to be on the side of that truck. Look at him bounce down on the rear tires. A score of 8 by 1 point. He takes the lead, and that's going to make life hard on the man who's coming up behind him, but it's a guy that the Tulachka family helped get back into the game. Buddy Tompkins out of Geneva, Florida. If Tompkins can rebound and get back to the #1 spot and claim the point series, he is going to owe a major debt of gratitude to the guy who he's trying to beat, Brandon Tulachka. But that's the way that this motorsport works. It's an awesome family. It's a dysfunctional family at times, but they want to earn their keep out here in the dirt, not back in the pits, and Buddy Tompkins is ready to lay one down and Raising Cane. Tompkins answering Brandon Tulachka's two-wheel action from his run just a moment ago. Tulachka threw down the gauntlet. Tompkins responded. Now, what does he have for hit two? We may not get it. Look at this. Tompkins loses the transmission, the fourth one of the weekend, and that is the one the Tulachkas helped him get back in this truck. You saw the steering wheel come out over the hood. And the body language is saying it all right now. Buddy Tompkins, I'm telling you, is beyond angry. He's beyond fed up. He's not mad at anyone. This is situational only. But you can see the head down as he walks off the track, and this is not a good sign for him in this points battle. It's going to really tighten things up if he can't get back in this thing for racing, and he looks like he's shaking it off right now. The body language says to me that he knows he's probably done for the evening. We hope that's not the case. He's only going to score a 4 with one move, which isn't bad. It was a good move, but I know he wanted a lot more out of that run, and right now he has got to be sweating under the helmet as he walked past his crew. In the meantime, back in the pits, there's more going on as Team Toxic is now taking the corners off of the rear end of the Toxic 2.0 machine. The word is that they believe that they have a broken pinion in the rear. Kevin Rico and Corey Snyder going to work immediately. So here's the deal. We're going to jump right into time trial competition. The reason being we only have 3 trucks left to run. They're going to give Toxic a chance to get fixed. But with Buddy Tompkins currently out of the field, we don't know if he's going to be back for Freestyle. It's not looking good right now. But Brandon Tulachka is going to come out and lay down a shot. Here's the thing, though. They're going to run both sides of the track in one run. It's going to be a big double loop. They're going to run 2 St. Louis-style ovals, basically, or a single St. Louis-style oval and then a U-turn on the other side. But we'll watch. Having to come up with this on the fly here to keep competition moving in front of the crowd in Aiken, South Carolina. Tulachka trying to remain #1. Looks like a pretty good run at a 32.09 for Tulachka. He'll set the pace. We'll have to see what everyone behind him does, but he definitely put down a strong run for the 2 ladies coming up to battle with him here in time trial competition. We'll be back from an ever-developing situation here in Aiken, South Carolina.
Hey, welcome to Wild Man Adventures. We're at the Silver Lake Sand Dragway. There really wasn't any off-roading back then. It was all off-road. We're on our way to Lima, Ohio. Got wooden wheels.
Oh, it's slippery as all get out of.
Hey, we're here with Rich Cummins. Hey, we're here with Mike Potter.
Hey, we're here with Alan Pizzo.
Gotta check it out. This week we're going to go down memory lane.
Back in Aiken, South Carolina, action continues out on the track for time trials. There you see Michaela Tulachka with the big Mitch Tulachka horsepower in the back, and the Dentside Ford Misgetter done, laying down her first time trial run. She's going after a 32.09 of Brandon Tulachka. She works her way around the track. Now here's the situation where she cut that one close, almost took down the cone. I believe it's a 3-second penalty if you knock down a cone here in the time trial competition as it develops. But here's the deal. They're going to make 2 runs each. They're going to add the times together. The best overall time with your 2 times added together will take the #1 spot out of racing. So Michaela Tulachka looking pretty good there with that time of 36.05. This was a little bit earlier. Jamie Sullivan in the FTI Torque Ram came out. She had a very fast run, but if you didn't catch it there, she mauled one cone, then came around and knocked down another. She actually missed a ramp there. She was moving, but didn't quite run within the boundaries of the course. So she took quite a few penalties on the run. It was a 38.38 plus 6 seconds in penalties. Brandon Tulachka, by the way, came out for his second pass. Got way down there by the fence. He was quick. But you'll see in a moment what's about to happen to Brandon Tulachka. That team has struggled a few times this season with ball switches going out on them in the rear. I'm not sure what caused that, but that definitely caused Tulachka, not only because he spun out, but he mauled the cone. Brandon Tulachka running a 44.71, and that is with a 3-second penalty. Back in the pit area, work continues underneath the Toxic 2.0 machine with the big KB Olds horsepower doing some damage right here. Word is they split the rear pinion in half as we listen in to the activity around the truck.
Yes.
It is? Are you sure? I don't think so.
I can't tell, Corey. It looks like it's in there. Give me something to tap it with a screwdriver. There's a spacer in here. Yes, it's already in here.
Okay. All right. Well,
right.
don't need that then.
So we need this hub cleaned off. Right. Here, give me a rag. Give me a rag. I got it. Yeah.
Where's the light that just has? So, use your light.
All right, so they have replaced the rear third member. They've got one back in there. Now they're hustling to try to get both corners and the drive line back on the rear end as Michaela Tulachka now rolls out for her second run. A lot going on right now on the track and off the track. And we're wondering if Brandon Tulachka kind of got out of his mindset there. He's over there in the toxic pits helping them work on the truck, then had to jump back in and make another time trial pass that may have taken him out of the game as Michaela Tulachka shoots for Brandon Tulachka's overall time. Let's see what she can do. May not be the fastest right now, but she's running very consistent and she's not hitting any cones. Keep in mind, that is what has pretty well knocked Jamie Sullivan out of contention because she mauled both cones for 6 seconds in penalties. As Michaela rolls off the track with a 38.15, that'll give her a 74.20 overall time, and she will claim the racing championship here in Aiken as we look back over in the Toxic 2.0 pits. You see Jimmy Tyndall over there right now, which is not a good sign for the Raising Cane Ram crew. They are out of it. That is the word. Right now, Corey Snyder hammering on this side, trying to get the axle assembly back in that truck so they can put the planetary assembly back on over it. A lot of work. Michaela Tulachka now headed down to talk to Chuck Plumley.
When it comes to all-star racing.
Yeah, you know, I may not be the fastest out there, but at least I stay consistent.
Again, a very quickly changing situation here in Aiken, South Carolina. We're going to take another quick break and be back with Freestyle. Hopefully, Toxic can make the call. Stay with us.
Listen up. It doesn't matter if you just watch your first show or you're a longtime fan of the sport and you want to know more about monster trucks. Well, tune into the Throttle Out Show on Monday and Thursday nights, live on our YouTube channel at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. You'll get the inside scoop and all the behind-the-scenes footage and monster trucks and soon-to-be all other motorsports. Life is better when your foot is to the floor. So remember, when in doubt, throttle out.
Sure?
No, stop. Drop the nut down in here. Hey, don't turn nothing. I'm gonna try to get it with my finger. Can't see it, but I can feel it. Hang on.
It looks like they are just about there in the Toxic 2.0 pits, getting that truck back out on the track. The drive line's back under it as Michaela Tulachka opens up Freestyle with some massive hang time in the dead side Ford. Miss Get Her Done out of Kewanee, Wisconsin. Getting some nice hang time in this run, a good flow so far, but something I'd like to point out is the temperatures are a little bit cool tonight. It's actually probably helping them make horsepower with these big alcohol blower motors. She is working every inch of this track right now, digging up the loose talcum powder-like soil here in Aiken with those big old meaty Michelins underneath that Patrick chassis. Going for the stoppie there, not quite getting it. Again, very loose soil here, and they're just really digging this track up. It's going away. And she will wrap up an awesome opening Freestyle in the Packer Fastener-sponsored dead side Ford. Miss Get Her Done. The Wisconsin driver looking awesome here in the Palmetto State. Some huge hang time, especially on this shortened course. You can see they don't have a ton of runoff room. And wrapping it up with that donut, the soil getting as loose as it is lends itself to these donuts, which has been a problem earlier in the year, and you see it right there. A score of 20. For Michaela Tulachka, she will net 46 overall points. And this is a good sign. Those are the filthy, greasy hands of one Kevin Rico, who is putting the finishing touches on the driveline underneath of the Toxic 2.0 machine. They will remount the tires once they get those tethers put back on, and hopefully that truck will be out here for Freestyle without any problems as Jamie Sullivan goes to work now in the FTI Torque Ram. Nice hang time for the big black Ram right there. This dirt is definitely making donuts more than possible tonight. Let's see what else she has left in this run. Working the track hard. Her spatial awareness has gotten better and better with each event, but she is looking awesome right now. See if she's en route to her first freestyle victory. She could do it with a move like that. Nice hang time off the race lane. Backing up over there is going to hurt her score a little bit, but I don't think she's worried about it. Just putting on a show for the crowd here in the Palmetto State. The big black Ram out of the Sunshine State, looking good, smoking a little bit right now, but Jamie Sullivan laying down a shot in the FTI Torque Ram, looking good. She had some massive hang time on the run, kept the flow up, one of the best freestyles we've seen from her this season. Cannot wait to see what she has in her future. A score of 17. She's looking for a little bit more, but she'll net 36 overall points going out of Aiken, South Carolina. We'll see what that adds to her points total at the end. Right now, we're going to send it down to the track and Chuck Plumley with an update.
20. And boy, do I have an update for you. Remember, we lost the rear end out of Corey Snyder Toxic. It took 4 different members of each team and Rico the crew chief. They've got it back together for you. Where's my Toxic fan?
Well, this is good news. Corey Snyder out of Frederick, Maryland, comes flying out onto the track in the black and green machine Toxic 2.0. Truck's definitely holding together now as he puts some massive air underneath of those big marchers. This is going to be a little bit different Corey Snyder than we've seen all weekend long. It's the last show of a 3-show weekend, and they just worked their butts off to get this thing back on the track. Look at him! Throwing it to the right, getting it turned around quick, putting the horsepower to the ground. Massive sky wheelie slamming on the rear end right there. That was the test to see if the work that they did would hold up. The big metal shop machine holding together. He just pounded the back of that wheelie ramp, almost running out of room. He did run out of room. Look at the brake rotors. They are glowing white hot. What does Snyder have left? Toxic 2.0 using up every inch of the track. He had to be 35 feet in the air right there, matching the top of the grandstands. Snyder wrapping it up, giving some love to some fans over here in the corner. A little bit out of sight. I think they're waiting for the ride truck to start up again, but look at the Toxic 2.0 machine throwing it down. Corey Snyder driving that truck for everything it was worth. This right here again was the road test as he slams the rear end down. It took everything he threw at it. That metal shop chassis, that big 557 cubic inch KV Olds, rebuilt by Kevin Stauffer Racing Engines out of Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. They put a lot of trust in that guy. He came through for him, put a lot of trust in the metal shop, building them this awesome chassis, and it worked. A massive hang time. Look at the score. It's a 27. Snyder, even without racing, will walk out of here with 34 points added to his season total. And now we're going to wrap things up with Brandon Tulachka. He has unofficially taken the season points victory. It's not official until his truck comes to a stop and he comes out of it. Not the way he wanted to win it. Buddy Tompkins over there, though, cheering him on right now to put on a show for these awesome fans. Remember, this was the guy, this was the team that helped Buddy get back in, at least for best trick competition. He didn't get to run past that. He was very disappointed, but he is over there cheering and clapping as we watch Brandon Tulachka go to work. Massive hang time for the big bad Ford out of Wisconsin. Look at him bring it to a stop right in front of the end zone retaining wall and fence. Trying to outdo Corey Snyder, not really so much as he's trying to put on a show for this crowd as he bangs into some barricades over there. At the very least, right now, he has matched Corey Snyder's score. Can he do something to put himself over the top? The brake rotor's glowing and sparking. What does Tulachka have left? Huge air out of the Packer Fastener Ford. He runs out of space, bumps the fence. Look at the brake material rolling out from underneath of this truck. They're actually smoking. And it looks like he is going to bring it to a stop right at center track. Brandon Tulachka doing an awesome job in the Packer Fastener Ford. What was the score? Remember, he has already taken the championship unofficially. It's not official yet, but did he take the freestyle victory and the overall victory out of Aiken, South Carolina? Some beautiful moves in that run. We're going to take a look at this last big jump from the end zone. Watch him coming right at our end zone camera. Remember, he took that thing out earlier this afternoon, event number 2. Running out of space, limited stopping power there too, I'm sure, with the brakes sparking like that, and just bumps the fence. There's a telephone pole just beyond that. Look at that spectacular hang time, and he does do it. A score of 28, 53 total points going out. He is standing by with Chuck Plumley.
You have fought this in there, but you have fought this for 8 weeks. It is now yours. You are official, the 2022 points champion for the All-Star Tour.
Man, this is tough. I'm proud of each one of these drivers. They burned it down. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be running the truck as hard as I am. My dad and sister keeping these trucks top notch so we can burn it down for you guys every single night.
You talked about being homesick. You guys have been on the road. How great does this feel? This has got to make up for it. You've been on the road, away from family, away from the significant other, but you walk away tonight as the series champion.
Yeah, it feels awesome to get a little homesick, but if it ain't for you guys cheering us on, you guys make it all worth it for us. So coming out here, spending your hard-earned money for us, we love you guys. We love that you get on. Spend your hard-earned money for us, you can do what we love.
There you go. Make some noise for Brandon.
What a way to wrap up the night as the champagne is flowing. You see Buddy Tompkins blasted Chuck Plumlee in the face with a confetti cannon. Here is the way it wraps up one of the oddest looking overall event points ladders that we've seen Packer Fastener setting up on top. And how about the two ladies in the field keeping it together, running consistent, being spectacular, and the championship points look like this at the end of the season. The Packer Fastener Ford with 630 points, the only guy into the 600-point range. I guarantee you Tompkins would have been there had the truck held together for him. A disappointing night, but it's great to see him over there with his monster truck family celebrating. Good sportsmanship at the end of the day. An awesome way to wrap up things here in Aiken, South Carolina. The All-Star Tour is not over, but the championship points are a wrap. After first quarter, we will see more from the All-Star Tour later this year as the fireworks go off. It's been an awesome season. Thanks for joining us. We will see you next time.